Hello guys, welcome to yet another episode of SPF TV on the Coach, where we're going to discuss the just concluded match week 3 EPL games. I'm your host, Godi.
Allen.
Mwasia.
Beniki.
Welcome guys. So, many goals were scored. Many games were played. Let's talk about the games, guys. Which one were the most intriguing games that we had this weekend?
I would say Chelsea, West Brom.
Chelsea, West Brom.
Yes.
Yes.
It had 6 goals.
Uh-huh.
It was a match of 2 halves.
2 halves, yes.
Yes, West Brom took the first half and Chelsea took the second half.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think the Manu game versus what team did Manu play?
Brighton.
Yeah, I think it was an interesting game too. Don't you think it took the weekend?
Okay. I don't think it was an interesting game.
Yeah.
Although the way it ended was interesting, but it was an interesting game. Yeah.
Some can term it controversial, some can term it
Historical.
historical.
Because we've never had a game end twice. In football, it happened.
They usually say fight time, but this time, even me, I was a bit confused because, as you see, after the final whistle was blown, again, there was a play that was done between the final whistle, right? So once the whistle was done, the referee again had to go to VAR, confirm whether it was a penalty or not, and then it was given.
Just to ask, what is the work of a match report? I mean, don't you think that was supposed to be in the report and not to be implemented?
Actually, that was what I thought. Because usually, if there are any instances within the game and they have not been highlighted, they are usually written in the match report. Yeah.
That was initially, yes. But now with VAR, it has to be. You know what VAR does? VAR corrects obvious errors that the referees committed. And in this case, the referee committed an obvious error, which means he didn't see the handball. So yes, so I think it was funny that it was played after the match has ended, but the foul happened before the match ended.
Handball, yes.
Kisilu, you saw numb on the game. I mean, did it disappoint you? You've not talked about it.
I think for me the game was a nice game because for me I think Brighton had a lot of chances to finish off Manchester United. But I think again about quality, that at times is a problem because if you see one striker shooting 3 times against a post, if it was a different striker maybe we would have 3 goals or 2. But what they are saying is what Beniki is saying is very true. For VAR, if the handball happened before the final whistle, so they had to revisit regardless of the final whistle.
I think it's just precedent set that going forth, anything can happen after the full-time whistle. I don't know, I'm not a professional referee, but I mean, that happened that way. The Arsenal-Liverpool game, anybody?
Yes, the Arsenal-Liverpool game, I could say that tactically, I would say that Liverpool were tactically very disciplined. And I think that discipline carried the day. Because if you see, there was another thing I was trying to see, these guys were called Tifo football.
Yes.
So according to them, they were saying that Liverpool's style of play, which is high press, they were doing it as a unit. And they were not giving Arsenal any breathing space from minute 1 to minute 90.
And I think we discussed this earlier that Kisilu, it was you who said they'd already found a formula to beat Liverpool because they'd beaten us the last 2 games.
Yes.
And,
so to correct myself on that, I think they had already found a way where they hold back and make sure that we don't score, then they spring either a counter attack or look for any mistakes from the Liverpool team. If you look at the last, apart from the game on Monday, we look at the past 2 games, both games there are mistakes that they capitalized on. Even looking at the Monday game, the first goal that they scored was a mistake from Robertson.
Yes.
But now the problem is, for me, I think Arsenal came to the game, but they were too passive and they respected Liverpool too much. I think if it was attack versus attack, it would be a different score. like maybe the game for Liverpool versus
Leeds, yeah.
yeah, where we would have a lot of goals and anyone would have taken the day. But because Arsenal respected Liverpool too much,
Was it really respect or it was just
I think their tactic, okay, they were sitting back, which is okay, but you see, if you sit back, you need to have players that can release that ball very fast. You need to break very fast, but they could not break very fast. And then they lacked a midfielder who could carry the ball. Although they brought
him, very late
in the second half, but again, was still sitting very deep. I think what they would have done, if I was a Arteta, I would have pressed the Liverpool fullbacks up. Because they can't. So you press them up there. But see, they were so deep.
But he was full of praises to Mr. Van Dijk. He said, I mean, they tried it, but it wouldn't work. He praised him at his report match, post match. Anyway, we'll move on to. I think let's try a different thing this time. Let's give
Before that, let's think about the Leicester versus Manchester City game.
Yeah, true.
It was another game.
A shocker.
Yeah, a shocker, because many people, even us, expected that Manchester City will take the day. But it was very different.
I think mentally, the defense of Manchester United were.
It is Manchester City.
Manchester City. Sorry for that. Yeah, they were tripped. I mean, they'd already seen what to do after the goal.
You see, I think Guardiola will still have a problem with the defense because if you look at all his teams, he likes specific defenders. He likes defenders who can play the ball, but he needs defenders who can defend. Because if you look at even the penalties, they are copy-paste of each other. And if you look at the goals that Vardy has been scoring against Man City even last season, although they lost, it's copy-paste. Yes.
But I think they got it. They got it to their heads. If you ask me.
Yes.
I mean, all the defenders made some very big errors that led to penalties.
As you know, he has spent 430 million pounds on defenders.
And they've already brought in another.
Yes,
Martin.
Actually, you see, again, if you look at the style of play of Man City and Pep, they're somewhat similar with Liverpool in terms of high press. So when you work with high press, that means you demand all your players to be in a way to be two-way players. By two-way I mean off and on the ball. So they need to be they need to be disciplined, they need to work as a unit. So now if they lack that cohesion, if they lack that consistency of being as a unit, now teams, the opponents tend to now maximize on those small
errors that
yeah.
Okay, Des. So what happened to Wolves? Things.
I think it was a shocker. Well, although remember the last show I said I think West Ham will win this game, but I didn't think it would be much for them because their defense would not deal with Antonio. Yes, because Antonio was really running, and Sushek, the midfielder, was always the second player in the box, and they were really giving them problems.
Yeah, true. And also the game, the Wolves game, I think the defenders for Wolves had a really big issue that game because they instead of attacking players, they were backing. They were backtracking. They were going back. You look at even the first goal, because if you check, the game ended 4-0, and they were not given any penalties. All the goals were clean goals. So they were team goals. So for me, I think instead of attacking the attacker who's coming, so that you can make sure that he doesn't get to the box, they were backtracking. So by the time they want to meet the attacker, they're already in the box. And for now with VAR, it's very difficult for you to do a tackle in the box.
Very true. So as we wind up, guys, I think let's make our best team for the weekend that we had. Let's go very fast. The goalkeeper. Who was your goalkeeper?
I'll give it to Martinez. 2 clean sheets in a row. I think you can't give any other goalkeeper.
I think the Leeds goalkeeper as well. Yes.
Did he concede?
No.
He didn't concede.
Leeds goalkeeper.
Oh, he didn't concede.
He didn't concede. Yeah. He was even if he was not the man of the match, I think he should have been because the game ended 1-0, and he was the one
very serious.
Ederson had a nice game.
Ederson,
Yeah.
the Man City goalkeeper.
But he conceded 5 goals. I mean,
But
For this particular game week.
I think the goalkeeper which also had a good game was the Newcastle goalkeeper.
Yes.
Do we agree on him to be our goalkeeper? Who do we agree on? Because we need to come up with one team. Let's do a favor to the fantasy players.
I think the one who didn't concede automatically probably comes then in our number one.
So we can just give it to Martinez, but
Martinez. The defense. Number
Right
2.
back,
Right back.
we can give.
I think for me it's just Trent. We don't have any other.
Trent.
option.
But Trent was so. I mean,
Well, I want to give it to
I want to give it
I
to
would
Trent.
give it to Castellan, the Leicester fullback.
Fullback. Yeah.
Yes, the new fullback for Leicester.
Yeah.
For me it's still Trent.
Trent.
Because like Trent had 2 assists.
Let's go to
Oh, you had 2 assists. Okay.
2 assists, but how many? Like at halftime,
Yes.
he was almost subbed.
Yes.
Because
And he also had a yellow card, yeah?
he had a yellow card.
Yeah. So,
Okay, the next position after Trent, the next
Centre back.
yes,
Centre back.
Centre back. I think I will not even talk about Chelsea, but
Don't talk about Chelsea.
they had a new centre back who
They had
was
a new
also
centre-back.
the captain for the day.
Oh, the guy did who put the
Thiago
Gerrard
Silva.
Silva.
Yeah, Thiago Silva.
It happens.
It's it happens.
A bit
Yeah.
of lack of concentration,
Mhm,
but yeah.
Mm. So
Me, I can say like Mings. Mings was one of my best centre backs for this game week.
yes.
Then,
They didn't concede and he also scored.
then me, I think it's between 2. Either Soyuncu or Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, Dune, the Burnley defender.
No, they even lost.
Okay,
He played well, but they lost.
he lost it. Okay,
Digne. It's
Yeah.
called Digne.
Digne for Everton.
For Everton.
Digne is
I think he gave
a
an assist if I'm not
it's a
wrong.
left back.
He's a left back. yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
We can add him. We still have. We'll play 4-4-2. Then let's move on to the midfield. Mhm.
Midfield, we start with holding midfielder.
Yes.
Yeah. So for holding midfielder, I think Fabinho for me.
Fabinho, very good.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll support you.
Tushi?
Fabinho.
No, a different. Fabinho, it's for all of us. The next player.
Maybe we can talk about this. I'm not remembering his name, but he plays for Leicester.
Tillemans.
No, Tillemans.
What?
Mendy for. Most people didn't because they played 4-1-4-1.
Yeah.
Yes, and Mendy was the one between the midfield and the defense, and he played a very
Yeah,
good game.
Let's move the other midfield. We have 2 to go.
I think you can also add what he was saying, Tillemans.
Tillemans.
Yeah.
And finally,
Uh,
for the midfield.
Man is a midfielder.
Yes.
Yes.
we can.
Yeah, it was man of the match for the game. Front 2.
Vardy.
Yes, Vardy.
Can have Vardy.
And the debutant, but he didn't. He came in
I
as a sub.
would add Robinson, the
Yes.
West Brom.
West Brom.
Yeah,
Very good. So that's our team. That's our team, guys, for the match week 3. We're looking forward to the next match week, which we'll be having in our next show. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, and thank you for the very many feedback that are coming. And we're looking forward to a very good match week. Thanks and have a very good week. From us, it is cheers.